some zip ties. Zip tie the mallet head together. Have boiling water on your stove. Place your mallet in the boiling water for a couple minutes. Pull it out. Tighten the zip ties. Stick it back in the water. Pull it out. Tighten the zip ties. Before you know it, and this one I need to get ready to do it too, the mallet head will be all nice and tight and rewrapped just like it was when you first bought it. It's what you're supposed to do to take care of your tools. Of course, I've been doing leather for over 17 years and never heard that once come out of Tandy's mouth. For any of their people, I had to find out from an old school leather worker who said, dude, why aren't you boiling your hammer? Huh? So boil your hammers. That way, these suckers are up to
45.
Yeah, I mean you can get, if you're getting into the polyurethane hammers, you can get up by $50-$60 for a mallet or a hammer easy. Not something you want to throw away. I don't know about you guys, but I don't have $50 or $60 to just go tossing around. If you do, come talk to me. I'm up for adoption. And nothing says that you can't experiment with the different types of tools that you have to play with. Found this at a garage sale.
Isn't that the applesauce maker?
I think. I don't know.
Man.
Either that or you can call it something cool like a belang pin.
Yeah, it's a belang pin. I beat
That's some bored housewife Saturday night date.
Yeah. But for me, it works really well when I'm tooling leather, when I don't want to have the really hard impacts and I want to do real fine scale work with my tools. Excuse me. This thing works beautiful. And it works just like you're working with a mallet. And you guys come up and check out the tools here in a little bit and look through them. Like we said, these are tooling tools, yeah. Like I said, these are not all of them. Ask the guys that work in my shop, you want to see Captain Whitaker come out of like flipping nowhere, hit one of these tools with a metal hammer. Don't do it. I wish I still had that one that he who shall not be named smacked. What will happen is the metal that your tools are made out of is a very soft metal, and if you sit there and hit them with, say, a normal hammer that you have in your kitchen, the tools will start to mushroom over. And one, it will destroy the tool, and two, the next time you need to do a really hard hit on your tool to get a good impression, it'll actually fracture and you'll have shrapnel flying around your shop, and since you're usually right here working, you guys do the math.
It's like when you squeeze a lemon and it always squeezes it
right
into somebody's eye. Plus
you
we'll
guys
hear the sound no
Yeah.
matter where they're at.
Ping! I will drive all the way to San Antonio and go, what the hell are you doing? Trust me, you don't want it. These little boogers, like I said, these are not anywhere close to all of them. These are just the ones that I've been able to beg money for.
Can I go buy some more tools?
These are your tooling tools. These are what we use to make all the pretty nice pitches on leather. Then I'll set this out where you guys can take a look at them. Like I said, these are really soft metal tools. If you hit them with metal hammers, you will destroy them. These little boogers run anywhere from $3.50 to $4.50 a piece, all the way up to $7
they're all
a
at
piece.
7 now.
Are they all up to 7 now?
Yeah, you
It's
can buy them in sets
robbery.
that have like
Yeah,
these ones right here and then the triangle ones.
and the chain links. These run about $30 to $45 for 3 or 4 tools. Okay, so it's an investment. If this is what you're going to be doing as your hobby or as, God forbid, a living, take care of your tools, because this is what you're making your living with right here. Okay, and you can ask any of the guys. We're venomously protective over these tools because we can't afford to replace them. We had to beg the money in the first place. I'll let you go into some of those because I need a drink.
This is a meat tenderizer. This is a wooden meat tenderizer. This looks like a meat tenderizer turned into a roller.
This is why we pay him the big bucks.
As far as your basic
cooking
tools
class.
to get started, you already went over your mallet. Other than your tolling stamps, There's secondary tools that I like to consider them basic tools. So does he, because tell me how many times you've picked up a leather piece like a bracelet or whatever, and it's got a really solid, sharp edge, and you wear it after a while, and it starts irritating your wrist, or so on and so forth. A piece of armor or what have you. That's what these are for. If you look at all our armor pieces, they have rounded edges. What these are edge bevelers, and there's two different kinds. This one is considered a beveler, but I've never used it. This is mainly for French beveler. This is for mainly doing folds, if I'm not mistaken,
That
on
one
edges.
is for doing, like if say when you're doing woodworking and you're making your edges where you've got a 45 on each edge to make them really pretty come together. That's what that one's for.
You have one that has a curve to it, gives it a lot more of a rounded edge, and then one that it's just a straight cut. This one is good for doing the really tight spaces. I don't know if I have any on my armor right now, but usually if you look on some of these pieces, there's like, if this was just a flat edge, it'd have a really tight angle, like say a 45-degree angle. That's what this one's good for. Other than that, I really don't like to use it because this one, it's got that groove, it likes to stay on the edge, and it rounds it out a lot better. You run this along both sides of your leather. I don't know if we have a scrap piece.
Oh, I got all kinds of scrap. That's a crappy scrap. There you go. All right, there you go.
And what it's going to do is take that rough edge, and it's going to slice off. There we go. And you get spaghetti. You do that on both sides, and then leads me to the next tool, which is, there's different variations of this. You can get it on it's just a polymer wheel, or you can get these. These are $3. The wheel, I think, is also 2 or 3. This is your edge beveler with bone knife. I like both because this one, when your leather's wet, it's got different sized grooves in there, so it compacts the fibers of the leather on the edge, pushes it in, and smooths it out really nice. Then you can pop this off, and they have glass burnishers also where you rub this and it compacts it even more, which the opposite side is used for if you're making a bend on the inside of the leather for, say, a pouch, and you have your groove there. It's to compact those fibers and give it a much cleaner bend. But as far as the other type, I'm not sure if we have it here, but like I said, it's a wheel of polymer plastic with a groove all the way around. You take that, and we found a little trick. Pop it on one of these with the bolt through it, and roll that along your edges. And it basically glasses the edge with the help of, you can use multiple things. They have this thing called gum tragagagagagant. We make fun of the name. It's a weird name. You can't miss it. Take a Q-tip and put that in the groove of the beveler and roll it, and it makes it really nice and glass smooth. You can also use beeswax, which Tandy does sell. There we go. And easiest way to do that, you'll see all these grooves. Just roll it on the edge there, and run your edge slicker, and it'll do the same thing. Depending on the leather, the grade of leather that you have, you'll start learning, okay, well, this is rougher leather, I want to use this. I want to use this, blah, blah, blah. If it's a better grade leather, usually beeswax is the quickest, easiest way. If it's a much rougher leather, like the cheaper stuff, you want to use something more liquid, like the gum tragagagagagagant. And you'll get varying results depending on what you use on a leather. So you'll start getting more familiar when you start using different variations.
But once you put the wax on it, forget dyeing it.
Yeah, forget dyeing it.
Yeah. Usually you can with either or the other one, a little bit of water mixed with Windex, believe it or not. And
we'll resin you,
yeah.
almost a glass sheen on the edge.
But honestly, you can dye your leather and go back and edge slick it the same. This is not a normal pair of scissors. You can ask any seamstress. Take this pair of scissors and cut it into paper, and you better run.
That's my kids.
You can take a regular pair of scissors, which, is this a regular pair of scissors? I don't know.
Those are paper scissors.
Paper scissors. Try cutting into this. It's okay. Yeah, fine and dandy. Take this. It's like butter. These are knife edges. You can get varying levels of sharpness with these. These are cheapo $3 ones,
$3 ones there.
but even then they're okay. Not really too great, but what I like using these for is your leather likes to rough up sometimes, and also on the cheaper grade leather. It's good for cleaning up rough edges like that. Even after you slick it, sometimes you have little hairs sticking out of the leather fibers. But this, I highly recommend investing in this, because using a box cutter to cut your leather not only cramps your hand out after a while, you don't have as much control. These, you have awesome control, won't cramp your hand out. You can cut a whole side of leather, cut out pattern this size, and have no issue. These are going to run about the same as your mallets. They're going to be about $35–40, but if you take care of them, you won't ever have to buy another pair.
How do you like these?
Yeah, those are for advanced users. This is your head knife. This, you want to be real careful with this. That's why he made a custom sheath for this, is these things don't play.
No, that is Damascus steel.
Yeah.
That's the cheaper of the ones you can buy. You can get the Owl Stoneman edition. That will go through your hand, into the bone in your hand, and not even slow down. You won't even know you've been sliced until about 30 seconds later, while you're wondering, why is my leather turning red? I haven't liked it. Oh, crap. Yeah.
This will give you the cleanest cut, and it's
That'll cut.
effortless.
With the head knife, if you get,
Don't run your fingers across the blade. That will cut you.
Yeah.
if you get to a point
Blood
where
promotes rest.
you got comfortable with the head knife and using it, that will take out about 3 or 4 different tools that you can use it on and use it for. It's a great thing to invest with. It does take lots of practice, because you could have this gorgeous piece of armor, you're all laid out, you're